Hi, it's Christian Boyce again. I'm going to show you how to fix another kind of photo in iPhoto. And the photo is this one here. This photo needs a few things. This is a barbecue joint in Texas, and I like the sky and I like the sign, but I don't like all this other stuff around it. So I also don't like that it's not straight. It's hard to tell, but it's not straight. It's twisted a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix it. And we're going to do what we always do, so we have something to compare. I'm going to have that picture selected, come over here to Photos, and we will say Duplicate. Okay, so let's fix this one. Alright, step one. Go to Edit, and now you don't want to rotate. Rotate's wrong. What rotate's doing is 90-degree turns. If you want to rotate the other way, you see the arrow? It always rotates left. If you want to rotate to the right, clockwise, if you hold the Option key down, the button changes, and so you can rotate the other way. But I'm only showing that to you to show you what we're not going to do. We are going to straighten. That's down here. Straighten's nice. When you do straighten, you get this grid, and you find something that should have been straight, like maybe the edge of this building, and you pull this slider, and you can see you're going to turn the picture. So I'm going to turn it until the building looks straight, and also the street light here looks straight, and that means everything else is straight too. So that's what we're going to do. If you wonder how it looked before, hold down Shift, and well, we'll see in a minute after I say done. Now I'll hold down Shift, and you see it rotates. There's a little bit of cropping that goes on here because when you turn the picture, you're going to you're not going to have a flat edge across the top and a straight edge down the side. They're going to be slanted, so they have to crop a little. So if you're going to crop, in addition to straightening, do your cropping later, and that's what we're going to do right now. So let's crop. So the part I cared about in this picture was the sign. And you grab these corners and you pull it down until you get the part you want. And this is the part I cared about. The Southside Market sign. Something like this. It doesn't have to be any particular shape here. It's going to be a rectangle, but it doesn't have to be a square. It doesn't have to be a tall, skinny one. Whatever works for you. So this one works for me. I want to keep some of that sky. Okay. However, if you wanted to constrain it, you could constrain it to a particular aspect ratio like 3:5 or 4:3 or 4:6 or whatever you wanted. And so if you had an idea of where this picture was going to go, like into a picture frame, and it was a certain size, you might pick it. But I didn't care. I just want to make it look good. So once I've moved these corners around, I'm all set. You can grab the whole thing and move it around. If what you really wanted to do is have a particular size picture, you want to see what would fit in it, this is one way to do it. Just move it around. Okay, so grab an edge, grab a corner. When you grab an edge, you get to move one thing at a time, one direction at a time. If you grab a corner, you move two directions at a time. So that's going to be my picture. So finally I say done. Here's my picture. All right, we're on our way, but it's blurry. We got to fix that up. It's got a funny dark spot here that I can't see what's going on. It might even need to be straightened a little bit more. I think maybe I made a mistake, so let's just straighten it. I gotta have that sign straight up. That's pretty close. Maybe their sign's not straight up, but anyway, that's what I want. Okay, so now we're gonna fix the shadows. We know how to do that. We go to Adjust. We grab the shadow slider, and remember, pull it all the way to the right to remind yourself what it does. Let's pull it back till we've got what we want. Okay. I want to see that building. Okay, we can do a little bit of contrast here too. In a picture like this, when you do the contrast, you see the clouds really get to be terrific. Go the other way, it all kind of blurs into nothing. So, you know, play with it and see, but I think a little bit of contrast gave me a little bit of drama. Now, when you want to lighten the whole picture overall, you could use exposure, but you see that really doesn't work, so we generally don't use exposure. Use the level slider. Remember, this gray point slider means it lightens up the picture if I move to the left, and it darkens the whole picture if I move to the right. So I'm going to go to the left a little bit. I love what happens to the clouds when I go to the right, but I don't like what happens to the rest of the picture. So I'm going to move back a little bit to make the sign better and try to keep enough of this good cloud interest that I still like the sky. We might try a little bit of highlights to bring the clouds, a little bit of detail in the clouds, you see? Pull it back this way, we'll just watch the clouds. So here's the highlights, normal. Here's the cloud with full highlights. You see it's a little bit better, so somewhere in there. Okay, and finally, not quite finally, we got two more things to do. I want a little more punch to this. This sky, I remember the sky being really, really blue, so I'm going to saturate it. Okay, so that's bluer. That seems good to me. And we also need to do a little sharpening here. This picture is just a little blurry. And I'm going to sharpen it after I do the next thing. So, you know, I like this picture, but what I don't like is this lamppost. So why don't we see if we can get rid of it? We're going to go back to quick fixes. We're going to retouch. So retouching is neat. There's a variety of things you can retouch. You can retouch, you know, freckles or dirt on someone's face, or a loose hair. But in this case, I'm going to retouch this lamppost. I'm going to make it go away. So what you don't do is you don't use a giant size brush to go over the lamppost. You try to get a brush that's reasonably close to the size of what you're trying to paint out. So here we go. I'm going to click just on the head of the brush, and or the lamp, and you see it just went away. I'm going to click here, it just went away. Click here, it just went away. So you can nibble at it like this, or you can, I'm going to make this a little tighter. Okay, I'm just going to go straight down here. Here goes. Clicking and dragging, just painting over. I'll just go down to here so we can see. Wow, there it goes. And I'm going to get even tighter with the brush here, and I'm going to nibble away here. Nibble, 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 nibble. So I'm just clicking away, and look, I've got a Texas barbecue joint without a lamppost in the way. So if you're sharp-eyed, you'll see that, yeah, I kind of blurred things a little bit. It wasn't perfect right here, but boy, it's pretty good. So I'm going to hold the shift key down and show you what we, well, first I'm going to say done, and then we'll do it. Here's the shift key. Here's what I had. Here's what I've got. Wow. So the last thing I want to do, let's go to adjust here. I want to do a little bit of sharpening and a little bit of definition. So if I pull sharpen all the way to this side, you see sharpen is good for edges of things. So a lot of digital photos need sharpening, and a lot of scanned photos need sharpening. So don't feel bad that you've got to sharpen a lot of your photos. That's sort of normal. Let's go to definition. What definition does is it changes inside of regions, not so much the edges. So here definition is not going to change this edge that much, but it's going to change the clouds in here. And you can see that's kind of what it does. So definition is local detail, and sharpness is edges. You can think of it that way. Okay, so here's what I have, and if I hold down the shift key, here's what I had. Okay, pretty good. I'd kind of like this if it was a little bit lighter. I don't know if I can get away with it. Go a little lighter. It's still good. Here's what I had. Here's what I've gotten. Remember, I'm using the shift key to do it. All right, well that's terrific. So I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna show you one more thing we can do with the retouch brush, because that's such a great tool. So I have one more picture. Here's a picture, random person, and I'm going to edit the picture. And you see, she's got this dot here. We want to get rid of that. So I know it's supposed to be there, but I'm going to take it away. So what do? Go to quick fixes, get the retouch brush. I get a dot that kind of fits, and I'm going to zoom in on here so you can see better what's happening. So here's my little retouch brush, and I'm going to click, and it's gone. That was easy. I'm going to clean up this little stray hair up here too. So I'm going to paint over it like this. It's gone. Let's move this picture over just a little bit here. There's a lot of stray hairs flying around, so I'm going to get myself a smaller brush again. The smaller the better, really. That's better. Here's another wild one. Here's another one I don't like. Okay, and here's one more. I think I'm going to undo that one. I don't like what I did. Okay, let's see. One more try. There. So, that's what I did. And if I hold down the Shift key, you see what I had. Some wild hair. And now it's just better. So, really easy. So let's go back and see our other two pictures. Compare that one to this one. You tell me which one's better. This one where you can hardly tell what I'm doing, or this one. And you know, there is a lot of nice drama in these clouds, and maybe I cropped it a little tight, but this was the point of the picture. It wasn't the sky, it was the barbecue joint. Another picture, maybe I'd crop it another way. You know, I could open this up and I could crop it. Crop, thank you. If I cropped it this away, it's a different picture. So this one's more about the sky and less about the barbecue. So anyway, that's it. That's the whole thing. So I've got I have a picture here that I straightened, cropped, adjusted the brightness using levels and shadows, a little saturation, and most importantly the retouch brush. So you know, ignore the parts that are a little bit blurry. It's a whole lot better than it was when I had a lamppost in it. So you know, you can't work miracles, but that's pretty darn close.